Hey folks, it's Daniel Rashid. I'm here to talk about contractors and what you can do to best protect yourself. We all know construction costs is on the rise. Contractors are hard to find these days, and at the same token, you got to take precaution and not just jump on a whim with any contractor. Just like the name serves itself, contractors, contract, having a contract with a contractor makes a lot of sense. And a lot of people just kind of have a contractor come, they discuss the job, and they vaguely discuss the responsibilities, and there's no paperwork, there's nothing to protect you as a vendor or as a homeowner getting work done, or as an investor getting work done to their investment. You need to have a contract, and if they're not used to writing those contracts, maybe you have to draft it up yourself. But having a contract for your contractor and you both agreeing to the terms just makes everything a little bit better. You know, how much work is going to be done before a certain portion of payment is submitted to the contractor. And you need to establish those ground rules because renovation cost gets expensive. Now, there's going to be some surplus. There's going to be some things that come out of the woodwork that's going to get a little bit more expensive. Just get it in writing. It's not about you wanting to sort of get the most out of your contract. It's just establishing those ground rules between you and the contractor. You know, having a clear indication of what's supposed to get done before before you pay them. You know, what kind of payments are we talking about? If there are late fees involved, how it's going to be distributed. That sort of thing. Establishing a contractor checklist is important. And where do you start? So let's start off the top. The job itself. You know, what are you doing? Are you doing a bathroom rental? Go into detail about what you're getting done. Or are you just painting? You know, go into detail what you're getting done. Talk about the materials as well. So the job first, talk about the materials second. You know, what kind of materials? Who's paying for those materials? Are you going to float the cost of the materials? Or is that contractor going to do that? You know, what's included? The permits is next. So have that contractor apply for the necessary permits for you to do the work to the property. You may need to sign off on some things if you're doing, a major renovation and changing a few things. Especially if it's like a basement suite, you need to get those permits settled and done before that contractor starts. You know, what kind of fire code is necessary for your apartment. You might have to put an egress window. So those are the type of things and details your contract's going to need to know and agree on to get done prior to you even driving one nail into anything. Who's going to handle, the workers? Are they going to subcontract those workers? You know, how is payment going to be distributed? Are they going to pay their workers? Are you going to have to pay every week? I would suggest installments. So based on a certain completion of the project or certain phase of a bathroom rental or basement suite rental, you pay accordingly. If it's 33%, and then you pay the next phase, when you see the completion of that work happen. It just keeps everyone on the same page, so there's no complication. Usually utilities are provided by you, power or whatever the contractor needs to usually utilities is provided by the homeowner. It's not too expensive considering their hourly wage or the project in hand is going to be much more pricier, but that's just something to kind of take note. You got to give something. Contractor's professional has their seal, if it so have you, or they're insured. Make sure you see the insurance. If for instance, and I've only started to do this recently for the companies that are plowing snow for me in my properties, for my multi-units, I have them present to me their insurance clause, and that making sure that they're covered and insured if anything were to happen. If they're not, then chasing that particular person or company would be difficult. If they're not properly insured, and especially in liability for you and your tenants. You haven't done your due diligence as a homeowner to ensure that they have the insurance for, let's say, the contractor in construction. Their liability for their workers working for them. Have them present something to you that's professional. The last part is the actual work itself and what products you end up using. If you're going to be paying a contractor to do the work and they're this professional to provide you a contract, they should be solid at the work that they do. Investing in quality work, quality materials, even though you don't want to bite the bullet on putting too much in, it will there's a certain threshold, I should say, but you will get your return in the end rather than doing something cheaply, because cheap always looks cheap. You can cut corners maybe perhaps on a rental or something like that, but at the end of the day, if you're doing that to your own home and you've put quality here and no quality there, it's really going to show. No matter how no matter what you think about it, it will show. I mean, if you're putting something in cheap, like people are going to notice that when you're trying to go sell it. It reduces that value for you, and it may even hinder it. So if you can't do a quality rental, I would hold off until you can actually do the quality rental. I still got rentals in my place I haven't completed because I want to do a quality rental. And just make sure you reserve that capital, and when the time comes, you invest in quality, and it will pay for yourself in the home equity that you build or when you come to sell. Final tip that I can provide you is sort of sizing up the job that you have in front of you. I'm not going to be using the top home builder for my rental unit to do a quick rental a week out from a tenant coming in. It just wouldn't make sense for me to pay out the solid quality money to that contractor to do that kind of work. There are certain people that are good at certain things and can turn around units quickly. You don't need that spot on perfect painter for your rental units when you need to turn it around in a couple of days to rent it to somebody else. So you size up the job first and foremost. Find the contractors and get a few of them. Take your time if you have time. Sometimes even for me, I've bite the bullet on a few people on a few different occasions because I didn't really have the time to assess different contractors. So take the time, size up your job, and find out who's gonna be the best suited for the job that you have in front of you, and would make more sense to hire rather than paying out a ton of money that you're not going to see the return for. You're hiring people to work on your home, and there's nothing worse than not showing respect to those people that you have helping you out. Creating a relationship in this business is crucial, especially if you're talking investments, because it's great to be there on every job site and seeing the work happen and seeing the construction happen for all your renovations. But realistically, we can't always be places that watching over everyone's shoulder, and nor should we be. Observing some of the work, making sure it happens, especially early on or the first time that you've worked with somebody, is important. Seeing the quality that they're outputting for the dollars that you're paying is very important. But establishing a good relationship is almost like, this is your business. You want to establish a good relationship with your contractor and everyone involved, or whatever. On a global scale, relationships are incredibly important, but especially your contractor, they're going to be pulling things for you together that's fantastic. Maybe things don't work out, then you move on to the next person. But extending that first hand of respect, extending that support to that individual is crucial. And do your due diligence. Sometimes we get involved with people that we know, and we give them sort of a leg up on some project that may not be beneficial to you. It's great to have folks that we know, but at the end of the day, it's a business, and you have to be careful on who you hire and sort of assess and study their pros and cons and hire the right people for the right jobs. It's fine to work with people it's fine. That's all great. But if the relationship's not working, kindly part ways and just move on, because there's not that synergy happening, and you need that in this business world, and there's plenty of work to go around. So take your time, show respect to the people that are working for you, and you'll see how that relationship would be beneficial for you. I know that I would have loved to hear this when I started out, so I'm hoping that this helps you in whatever you do in this arena, and you take care and have a great day.